Hey everybody, this is Chelsea. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some open source software options. One is Apache OpenOffice versus Microsoft Word. The next one I'll talk about is Inkscape versus Adobe Illustrator, and then I want to talk about Firefox as it compares to other browsers. First up, I have up here Microsoft the OpenOffice Writer, which is the free version of Microsoft Office. You can get OpenOffice with all of the programs like their version of Publisher and Excel and PowerPoint. It's just a little bit different but very similar. One thing that I really like about OpenOffice would be that it's really similar to older versions of Word and also of the other programs in the suite. So some people find it more familiar and easier to use because it looks just like the version of Word that they got used to when they were growing up. So like an example of that is that when you go over to Microsoft Word, as you see here, you have all of these ribbons and different um, tabs that you can go through to do your text editing features. But with Microsoft or with OpenOffice, you have just the normal buttons and then you use the file, edit, and view at the top of the screen. OpenOffice also added this page or these kind of tabs over to the right to help you do text editing and word processing, and some fun buttons that take you to the gallery and the properties and styles and formatting and things like that. So next up is Inkscape. I want to just go to that really quickly. I did have some problems downloading and installing Inkscape. I was a little confused because not only do I have Inkscape on my computer now, I have something called X11, which I'm not sure exactly what that is. So interestingly enough though, when you open Inkscape, you open up X11 and it kind of almost crashes a little bit. The first couple of times I opened it on my computer, I had to force quit X11, and I'm not sure how that would work if I had a document open and ready to kind of edit, and then I had to close it, and yeah, so it was just kind of weird to me. But people on the internet say that they love it because it's free. They also love it because it's as professional as Adobe Illustrator and that it has a better user interface. And that support is better because you can always get to somebody who cares about Inkscape and who had a hand in developing it and who knows about the program, as opposed to support for Adobe Illustrator that you will end up paying for. And when you're already paying for the suite of programs that come along with Adobe, you might not have much more money. So there's that. Okay, so next up is Firefox, which I wanted to talk about just because I love it so much. I started using Firefox a long time ago when I first got my own computer and realized that Internet Explorer just crashed way too much and gave my computer viruses. So Firefox, as it goes, is a pretty stable browser. It has this thing that it does called a session restore, so in the event that it does crash, you can reopen all your tabs that you had open before, and I love that. It also has this handy dandy little search bar right over here, so you can select the search engine that you want to use, and I think that's nice because different search engines are preferable to different people. So, and then also, I think that Firefox, a lot of the browsers are starting to add the features that Firefox has because they saw that more people were starting to use Firefox because it's so user friendly. And so a lot of the browsers really kind of look the same as Firefox now. So yeah, those are my three that I chose. Two things that I learned about open source software that I had no idea about before was that users can add to the code and make the product better and able to fit their own business and needs even better, and I had no idea that they could do that. Another thing that I learned was that the support options would be better. I had kind of thought that because the products were free and because anybody could use them, that the support might not be as good as it would in a program that was proprietary and that you paid for. But quite the opposite. You can look on on this other window that I have open, Apache Office, they have you can request support and you can get real-time support too. I'm not sure that you can even get real-time support when you use Microsoft Word. You might be able to, but I haven't seen that, or usually you just have to go to the Help tab at the top of the screen. So the question that I have about open source still is, of the schools that are using open source software like on a daily basis, what kinds of advantages do they see for their students in that, and what kind of translation or what kind of savings does that translate into for those schools? And are there any studies that are being done on that, or like, hard evidence and research that are being published in journals that say open source software is just as good as proprietary? I'd like to see some studies like that. And that's about it. Thanks for your time.